Hey guys, how's it going? MegaLugia here, bringing you another competitive team builder, this time around Mega Slowbro. Now, if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen any of these before, I'll be going through all the ORS megas that we have right now, giving them an in-depth guide on their most competitive movesets, and some other movesets that might catch your opponents off guard and still put in the work. Now, if you like the sound of that and you're hype, don't forget to drop a like, that'd be dope, and subscribe so you don't miss out on all the other future lists coming out. Now, it should be said, by no means am I the best competitive batter out there, so if you have your own movesets, by all means, please leave them down in the comments below, so that way we can learn from each other. Now, with all that out the way, let's hop into the analysis for Mega Slowbro. So of course we gotta kick it off with the basics before we get into anything complicated. So of course Mega Slowbro is water psychic typing. You know, not a bad typing, has had some good coverage and some good super effective hits. So as we can see here, offensively you're super effective against ground, fire, rock, fighting, and poison. Good super effective moves to have, types to have, because they are fairly common types in the tier, so this puts you at an advantage. Defensively you are weak against grass, psychic, bug, ghost, and dark. Again, those are some fairly common types in the tier, but you can work around it, especially because of Mega Slowbro's bulk and the teammates you can pair him with. Offensively, you are resisted by poison, steel, grass, water, and dragon, and defensively, you can take hits from fire, steel, water, ice, fighting, and poison. Those are some really good resistances because they are fairly spammable type moves in the tier. So as you can see here, Mega Slowbro is looking like a pretty well balanced Pokemon. Diving into Mega Slowbro's stats, of course it gets a crazy boost to defense going up to 180. Yes, a mind-numbingly 180 defense. 130 special attack, which is decent because that's also on par with Latios. Decent special defense at 80, and a really good HP stat of 95, just missing out on that base 100. Of course it's got a pretty shitty speed, but let's be honest, we're not going to be running We're not going to be running Mega Slowbro as a speedy threat. Before it Mega Evolves, you get the ability Regenerator, so you don't have to Mega Evolve right away, taking advantage of that HP restoring when you switch out. And when you do Mega Evolve, of course, you get the ability Shell Armor, which means crits cannot touch you. And let me say, that is an amazing ability because you never have to have that in the back of your mind. If you're set up now, you're all good to go. So now for a basic overview of how you might want to run Mega Slowbro. So you usually want to run max HP, max defense, taking full advantage of its bulk. Sometimes you can choose to split up the defenses and go with a mix with defense and special defense. That's really up to you. It does have the highest defense stat in OU, that crazy 180 of course, and it is a great check to Mega Medicham, one of the strongest wall breakers in the tier. You are resistant to both its stabs, and you know it's really hard for it to actually touch you. One downside to Mega Slowbro is that you can't remove status like Toxic, T-Wave, or Burnt, so that is a downside, but you want to make sure to run like some kind of Cleric on your team to make sure Mega Slowbro can not get whittled down that way. And I can tell you from a lot of personal experience, a lot of people will rage quit on you if you have Mega Slowbro set up properly and they have no checks or no counters to it. You can just 6-0 a team if you're fully set up. I'm telling you, I've seen it happen. So for the first set of Mega Slowbro, we're going to be going one that's fairly common in the tier and in my opinion is the most effective. I like to call it the Great Wall of Kanto, going full HP, full defense with a bold nature, making sure to take full advantage of that bulk. You are blessed with Mega Slowbro. Moves you're going to run are Slack Off, Calm Mind, Scald, Psychic, or Psyshock. You can choose to run Thunder Wave in place of Calm Mind, but I prefer Calm Mind because it makes sure that you can get your special defense and your special attack up, so there's really very limited ways of being able to take you down. But if you do have a reliable Spadef wall on your team, you can choose to run Thunder Wave and slow things down and play off those para hacks. Scald because it's stab and one of the best moves in the game. If you do burn something, now your defenses are even higher. And Psychic or Psyshock because stab as well, and you can choose whether you want to hit something more on the physical side or on the special side. And Slack Off because you want that recovery to increase that longevity can't say that word, of Mega Slowbro. The second set is going to be a mix, bro. You're going to go for a max HP, 148 defense, 108 special defense with a bold nature. Now what that EV spread allows you to do, you can guarantee to live 1 Life Orb Draco Meteor from Latios, and you are not to hit KO'd by Choice Spec Keldio's Hydro Pump after Stealth Rock. So those are some really good calculations to have in mind. The moves you're going to want to run are Slack Off for obvious reasons, Iron Defense or Amnesia if you don't care about the special attack boosts that come with Calm Mind. you can choose to run one of these, and now you're immediately +2 on one of the defenses. Scald because best move of the game, like I already explained. And with the fourth move, it's a toss-up between Psychic, Psyshock, Fire Blast, or even Ice Beam. Fire Blast to hit Ferrothorns and Skarmories and Scizors, and Ice Beam to hit like Lando, Garchomp, and Gliscor, and Psychic Psyshock for obvious reasons of being stabbed. So it's really up to you which one you want to choose based off of the makeup of the rest of your team. So for this third set, don't look away. Your eyes are not mistaken. You're seeing it right. I like to call this set the oh shit stop set, because I like to run at least one gimmicky set with all my mons, and I say gimmicky with a pinch of salt because they're not useless sets. They can definitely still put in work against your opponent, especially if you catch them off guard and they have no way to handle it. So this is my one from Mega Slowbro. Now the EV spread that you see here is 248 HP, 164 attack, 84 special defense, 0 IV in speed with a brave nature. I will go more into detail with the EV spread later on in the damage calculations portion of the video. And also, before I go on, you see the 0 IVs in speed, so you're going to want to run a Trick Room set on your team so Slowbro can outspeed everything else and just take advantage of it. Again, I will go more into details of the teammates when we go into that portion of the video. Now for the excuse me, getting pretty excited here over over this Slowbro. The moves you're going to be running are Slack Off and Belly Drum. Belly Drum is going to bring your HP down to 50%, and then you're going to want to recover it with Slack Off. Obviously, Belly Drum is going to get you to +6 attack. That's right, attack, not special attack. Scald because you want to take advantage of that decent special attack that you do have, and that burn chance is always nice to increase your longevity. And Drain Punch because you're a +6 attack. What's going to stop you? You're going to be dealing out damage. You're going to be recovering HP. It's a really good time. I'm telling you, this Mega Slowbro set can seriously put in the work if your opponent has no way of stopping it. So now for some important damage calcs. Like I mentioned before, Drain Punch at +6 can OHKO, or has a really high chance to OHKO Snorlax, Aggron, Mega T-Tar, Ferrothorn, Chansey, Hippo Unbound, and Heatran and Empoleon. So these are some fairly common walls in the tier, and the fact that we're talking about a Mega Slowbro OHKOing them with a physical non-stab attack is crazy. So it's really good to see, and like I said, a lot of these can't even do a lot of damage to you back, and they can't even OHKO you, like Snorlax, Aggron, Mega T-Tar, Ferrothorn, Chansey, Hoopa Unbound, Heatran, and Empoleon. So they can't OHKO you, and you can deal a lot of damage to them back, so that's really good to see. Now your uninvested Scald as well can OHKO or 2-hit KO Mega DNC, Lando, Talonflame, Excadrill, Entei, both forms of Charizard, Mega Medicham, and Hippowdon. That's also really good to see because a lot of them can't do a lot of damage back to you as well, like Lando, Talonflame, Excadrill, Entei, Charizard X, Mega Medicham, and Hippowdon. They're not going to do a lot of damage to you, and you have a really high damage output against them, so that's really good news for Mega Slowbro. So now for some further damage calcs. If you are running the max defense Slowbro, alright, prepare yourself for some of these damage calcs, because I couldn't believe them myself when I figured them out. So at max defense, you can take a +2, and by the way, all of these are using super effective moves with an Adamant Nature or positive boosting attack, Adamant Nature. Bisharp's +2 Sucker Punch, Banded, Adamant Hoopa's Hyperspace Fury, +2 Mega T-Tar's Crunch, +1 Mega Scizor's Bug Bite, Breloom's Bullet Seed, a +2 Banded Weavile's Night Slash cannot OHKO you. I could not believe it when I saw those moves. It is insane. Just goes to show the immense bulk that Mega Slowbro has, and you can deal some serious damage back to them after they don't OHKO you. So good news again for Mega Slowbro. And if you are +2 on the special defense with Calm Mind, you are not OHKO'd by a Mega Gengar's Shadow Ball, you are not OHKO'd by a Mega Gengar's Shadow Ball, Mega Alakazam, Mega Ampharos's Thunderbolt, a +3 Mega Gardevoir Shadow Ball, +1 +1 Volcarona's Giga Drain, a +1 Mega Manectrix Thunderbolt. Now, you might be wondering how it gets to +1. Maybe it stays in regular form and you Thunderbolt it on a Volt Absorb, so it's now at +1. All of these cannot OHKO you. Again, crazy defense and special defense from Mega Slowbro. So really good to see that you can wall a majority of the tier and hit them back, especially with your +2 Calm Mind in this situation. So again, very good news from Mega Slowbro. So now for some of the checks and counters to Mega Slowbro, the few ones that there are: Mega Gyarados, Water and Dark type. It's going to be a really hard thing for Mega Slowbro to deal with because it's resistant to both your stabs and immune to your Psychic, of course, because of the Dark typing. Of course, you can set up, but it is kind of unreliable because it's hard for you to hit it back, and it can just keep hitting you with a crunch, which does deal quite a bit amount of damage, so you don't want to be stuck in that situation. Rotom, because Rotom's just a pain, right? And it can run Will-O-Wisp, it can outstall you, and it can Thunderbolt you, of course. If you're not set up with the proper Calm Minds, it is a bit difficult to work around with. Not saying it's impossible, of course, but it's not a ideal situation to be in. Mew, because Mew can just run any set under the moon, right? You can choose to run Taunt. It is resistant to your Side Shock and Psychic. It can set up in your face. It can Baton Pass into something that might want to deal with you even better. It can taunt you. Of course, like I said, a lot of these aren't impossible to deal with, but it's not a ideal situation. Clefable, if it runs Magic Card, then you can't burn it with Scald. It can set up in your face as well, set up alongside you. If it chooses to run Unaware, then you're setting up alongside with it won't do a lot of good. It can also run Heal Bell and Wish, where you only have the option of HP recovery, not status. Raikou, because if you're not set up with those Calm Minds, then Thunderbolt's going to do a lot of damage. Like I said, a lot of these mons can be dealt with if you're set up, but you don't want to have to rely on being set up to deal with them, right? Latios and Latias, resistant to both your stabs and do a hell of a lot of damage with Draco Meteor, and can roost alongside you and Calm Mind, so again, that's a sticky situation. And Celebi, because it is resistant to both forms of your stab, it can set up alongside you. It does have Natural Cure to switch out in case it does get burnt by your Scald, so again, a lot of unnecessary risks to place on yourself unless you are set up, so keep that in mind. So some teammate options that you might want to run. First of all, you can have Celebi, because it is resistant to some of Slowbro's weaknesses like Grass and Electricity, and Celebi can eat those up. It can also be a status absorber because it has Natural Cure and can set up and Baton Pass into Slowbro if you want to run that. I also mentioned running the Trick Room option for the Belly Drum set. You can choose to run Whimsicott or Diancie. Both can run Trick Room. Whimsicott is a bit frail, more frail than Diancie, but it does have the Prankster. Or you could choose to run Diancie, so you can run Trick Room and set up rocks and be like a suicide lead with Explosion. You can also choose to run Heracross and Clefable, both being more status absorbers because Slowbro does not like to be status. If you have Guts on your Heracross, you can switch into a status and now you hit really hard. Clefable obviously with that Magic Guard ability. Also, Clefable can choose to run Thunder Wave. If you don't want to run that Trick Room set, you can Thunder Wave something with Clefable, and now Slowbro has the potential to outspeed it. It can also set up rocks. Heracross, because it has that bug fighting type, so which can deal with dark types, which may give Slowbro some trouble. Tornadus, which can act as a pivot. You can U-turn out on the Lottie twins and then allow Slowbro to take a hit, which Tornadus doesn't usually like to handle. Keldeo, because it's a good outspeed for a lot of teams. It has that fighting and water stab, fighting to take care of the dark types that again Mega Slowbro doesn't like to handle, and of course it outspeeds them. T-Tar, which can set up rocks and can also be a pursuit trapper for the Lottie twins, which is always nice to have in the back. Anyway guys, that's my competitive guide on Mega Slowbro. I hope you enjoyed watching and maybe learned something. Hopefully I'll see that Belly Drum Drain Punch set on Showdown. That would honestly make my day. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Hope you guys are all having a good day. MegaLugia here, checking out. Peace.